Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Happy Saturday morning, everybody. I hope everybody's ready. This might be a little bit longer than usual video because we have so much to cover. So you know how it goes. Let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're starting off with the news that a new crowned portrait of the king for the very first time are going to feature on a range of commemorative coins created just to celebrate the upcoming coronation of King Charles. The collection has a 50 pence, I think it's called, a £5 coin. They're going to be released later on this month. The picture was designed by sculptor Martin Jennings, and it has King Charles wearing a crown. And now, the Tudor crown was personally selected by the king for the portrait, even though apparently it doesn't exist anymore. It was destroyed in the 1640s. Very interesting to know. The £5 coin has a design by Timothy Node of the sacred and symbolic objects used in the coronation ceremony, and the other coin has a drawing of Westminster Abbey by Royal Mint resident designer Natasha Jenkins. There's also a number of ounce coins that are available in several editions and sizes. The prices are, And another little bit of information, according to the article, the Royal Mint has struck the coins of the monarchy since the times of Alfred the Great. That's pretty cool. All right, moving on. We're going with the Princess Royal, Her Royal Highness Princess Anne. She recently went and visited Norton, and she dedicated a sculpture to the men who served in the Worcestershire Regiment, how did I say that, guys, and who fought in World War I. The statue is called the Sentry, and it was placed by their regiment project group, which stands on the site of the old barracks. Now, Princess Anne also visited the network partner of Care's trust called Crossroads Care in Gloucestershire, and she went to an activity club for people who have physical or health conditions that make them lonely or isolated, and here's a way for them to get out and reach out to other people. Very nice. All right, moving on. Next up, Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, went to visit the Department of Education's Open Awards Center. That is a charity that offers the Department of Education to those who don't get a chance to do their work actually physically in school. Also, I told you the other day that Edward opened up the Viva Arts. Well, finally, some photos came out. They apparently had lunch together. And then, of course, he unveiled a plaque. Love it. Good for you, Edward. Moving on. Next up, we're moving on over to the Duchess of Edinburgh, Sophie, who put on some virtual reality goggles when she went to visit an event that was hosted by the eye care charity Orbis UK in Gherkin in London. I think she enjoyed playing around with that thing. Now, this event, very interesting. It celebrated some really big advancements in eye health, from simulation and virtual reality training to artificial intelligence to help support the diagnosis of eye conditions. I think that's pretty cool. I love that. Good for her. Now, sticking with Sophie, we have the Hale, which is a Manchester's orchestra since 1858 is what it says. And apparently Sophie is the patron, so she went to formally open the new Oglesby Center, and very nice. They have a new art club. Then they went downstairs for a performance from the community choir, and then she officially opened the new center. Of course, she was looking stunning as usual. Looking nice and stylish as usual. Go, Sophie. All right, moving on. We're going to move on now to the coronation. Now, initially, Charles said that he was going to let the world's public see as much of the ceremony as possible, but people got upset because he was going to allow people to watch the anointing. And that is one of the most sacred parts. Well, Charles has now changed his mind, and the TV cameras will not be showing that. I happen to agree with that. Moving on. Sticking with King Charles, he was named on the Times list of the 100 most influential people of 2023 under the icons section. He was there for his work with the Prince's Trust and his efforts to evolve the monarchy with the modern age. Now, the British Vogue editor-in-chief is the one who penned the piece for the Time. And what he said was, and I think it's very touching, he didn't have to do any of it. He could have let his privilege shield him from the realities of our hardships in a time when these were not a cause to celebrate. But he always met us with an open mind and a listening ear. I love it. Moving on. Now, moving on to the coronation, everybody was kind of shocked that they suddenly put out what they were going to do. And apparently Neil Sean is reporting that William gave him an ultimatum. Either you give us a response now or we're rescinding your invitation. There you go. That's why they gave the response they did. You know, I showed you this tweet before where this person pointed out that Meghan is going to start playing, the stories are going to come out that she's the doting mother, and yet she's so hurt by the royal family. And so she's just decided that she just can't take it and she can't face them after everything that they did, that the victim mentality was going to start coming out. Well, dudes, it didn't take long before that's exactly what started happening. The guy who does yoga with her is coming out now saying that Meghan is struggling because of the rift with the royal family. She's having such a hard time. The guy says, they're struggling since they have this huge rift with Buckingham Palace, and it's just so hard for them, and it's creating all this tension. Well, maybe they should have been playing the long game like Prince Charles. Maybe they shouldn't have attacked the royal family at every turn. They attacked the royal family with the Oprah interview. Then they tried to backtrack because they realized they went too far, right? Then they attacked the family with the Netflix documentary. Then she attacked the family in the cut interview. Then it was over and over and over again. Now they're struggling because of the rift. The rift that they caused? Are you kidding? You're not going to get any sympathy here. And let's be honest, Meghan's not going to that coronation because she's embarrassed. She can't get on the balcony. She won't be in the procession. They won't be in the carriages. They are completely excluded from any significant role. But yet, and she wasn't going to set herself up to be booed. It would have been horrible. But yet she has no trouble sending her husband in, to take the brunt of what's going to happen because you still need content for Netflix. Let's be honest. They have a team of helpers at their house. There's no excuse for using Archie's 4th birthday to avoid crossing the Atlantic, especially when you had no problem throwing your daughter's first birthday party at Frogmore, which is something they were told they could use right up until the coronation. It's a bad excuse. So Harry and William are going to be absolutely separated at this coronation, just like they were at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. That way there's no chance of a camera getting a shot of the two of them in the same shot. That will not happen again. Now, because of what happened also at the Platinum Jubilee with Harry and Meghan intentionally arriving late, then they needed their own car, they needed their own promenade down the aisle at the church, which was not supposed to happen. They said that Harry's arrival to the church is going to be very meticulously crafted down to the minute. They will not allow Harry and William to come face to face. Harry's going to be put with the non-working royals like Beatrice and Eugenie and their husbands. Now, supposedly there's no issues with them, but I think we all saw the faces that were going back and forth between Eugenie and Meghan when Meghan got in the car, and Jack, Eugenie's husband, and Harry. So I would say that there are some issues there. Let's see what happens, though, when he gets there. I think the whole thing is going to be very well orchestrated. The truth is, I don't think Harry really wants to be there, but I think their brand is dying. This was brought up. Their brand is on life support. So they have to go because they need the proximity to the royal family. So Kinsey Schofield had something to say about that. Listen to this.
The argument that he would only attend the coronation if he received an apology. Do we think he's received an apology and that's why he's now going?
I don't think that he's received an apology at all. I don't. I think that realistically, the Sussex brand is on life support here in the States, and they need to look like they are still associated with the royal family to continue to create financial opportunities for themselves. I truly think that that's what it is.
So people are discussing the fact that Meghan is basically gutless. She's created this situation. The UK can't stand her. She doesn't want to be booed. She can't face the crowds. I mean, this is a woman who loves to show up in couture, and so she's using Archie's birthday as an excuse not to go. But we all know what's really going on. She would never miss a tiara moment. She would never miss a, hey, everybody, look at me moment. But there's another thought process, and that is that she would have to curtsy to Catherine. And people are saying there's no way in heck that she would ever do that. Now, there's another thought process going on here, which we're all thinking it. Again, Kinsey, listen to this.
Just say this. Can you imagine, though, what she will do to distract from the coronation? Is it going to be a picture of Archie, who we haven't seen in years? Is she going to do like her own walkabout in Beverly Hills? She will do something to distract from the coronation, I imagine.
I mean, think about it, guys. When William and Catherine were in New York, they released the Netflix trailer, they released the Invictus trailer, they released a picture of Archie. This is what they do. This is her pattern. Of course she's going to try to steal the thunder from the coronation. What else would she do? Oy. So a blind item came out basically insinuating that while Harry's there, he wants to have a sit down with his brother and his dad because he wants back in the family fold. I mean, that might be interesting because, I mean, let's face it, the deals are drying up. They're running through the money hand over fist, and it very well may be. I don't think the family will take him back, though. I honestly don't. He broke trust. Once the trust is broken, that's it. The second Gayle King went on that morning news, it was over for them. Now, people are saying that what she's doing to King Charles is really bad because let's face it, Charles paid for her wedding. He paid for, all this stuff. When her dad got sick, he stepped right in and offered to walk her down the aisle, saving her embarrassment, I might add. And then she just was like, yeah, I don't want to go. She should have sucked it up and went. This is another massive misstep. This clearly shows that she has no respect for King Charles whatsoever. I have to agree with this Twitter user. I think it's a huge mistake. She blew off the coronation because she didn't get her demands met. And that shows her to be petty and small-minded, and people aren't taking it well, seriously. Now, you guys should know that the Sussex squad, who have forgiven every lie that Meghan's ever told, they've made excuses, are having an absolute meltdown over the fact that Harry is going without his wife. And they're saying all kinds of things. I don't care. You know these people by now. Some of these are really, you're going to need to freeze the screen to read them. But some of these people are like, you're celebrating your wife's abusers. Other people are saying that, man, the second he gave home, I'd be handing him divorce documents. The fact that he went without me. They're not even considering the fact that she might have sent him because if they don't keep, that contact with the royal family, they have no way to make me money, to make themselves money, excuse me. So, I mean, they're not accepting anything. But I like what this Twitter user said. She pointed out to the Sussex squad that Harry and Meghan named their daughter after the head of the same institution that they hate, and they insisted on titles for the children, those same titles that, according to Harry, trapped him and made him so miserable. Okay? These people are not your allies. And talking about divorce, that rumor is really going around now that they are on the verge of splitting up, Harry and Meghan are, because she's run the race. She's used him. She's gotten everything from him. Now it's time for the old heave-ho. Now, it wouldn't be a news report if we didn't have Shouty Shola. Shouty Shola, who was screaming that the royal family were racist if they didn't put Meghan on the balcony. You know, everything Meghan says, let her go, let her be there. The second she says, I'm not going, Dr. Shola is like, oh, Harry and Meghan, they put their family first. Actually, they didn't put their family first. Harry's going. She can't keep up. I mean, I'm getting whiplash from the way she changes from day to day, depending on whatever Harry and Meghan say. Oh my goodness. Now, we're sliding into the end here. And now all the stories are about Fergie is not getting an invitation to the coronation and how mean that is. Let me just say something. She's not a member of the royal family. She divorced Andrew, 20 some odd years ago. Now, while she and Andrew have remained friends and they've co-parented and done all of that, she's not a member of the royal family. Andrew is going because he's the king's brother, and the daughters are going because they're also related to the king. But she's not. So, of course, Omid Scobie, another Shouty Shola, had to put himself out there and make comments about, isn't that just so cruel that she's not invited? No, I don't think it's cruel at all. Now, one more little bit of information that's come out. Apparently, Samantha has refiled her lawsuit. She's made it even stronger. Yeah, that case is not going to go away. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So for those of you who didn't want Meghan Markle at the coronation, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Put away your tomatoes, put away your eggs, go be happy, and let's have a great coronation, shall we? One quick shout out. I'm not going to give her name because I wasn't given permission, to the person who sent me this and the lovely postcard, which I will be framing. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to sit down and look at this. I love stuff like this. Fabulous. All right, you guys, you know what I want. Leave those comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already hit the button, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to go up into the link and get the links to my Twitter, Getter, Rumble, email, Patreon, my physical address in case there's something you want to send. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.